And when I was growing up there, I faced a lot of challenges. Challenges that I thought were unbearable. I thought, why me? Why was I in this situation? And what I've learned growing up is that we're placed in different circumstances to test our faith, and not only that, but to build character. And while growing up, I got a lot of help. I had persons coming to me and saying, Shelly-Ann, you know, you can be great, you can be a leader, you can do this. And at that time, I was 13, 14, I was like, I can't be bothered with all of this. You know, I was so caught up in the situation, thinking that, you know, I wouldn't make it up. Why are persons worrying about me? You know, why don't they just let me live my life? A lot of persons will say, oh, she's from an inner city, she will never amount to anything. But I have to say thank you to those persons who supported me throughout high school and just encouraging me, whether it was financial help or just somebody who just gave me that speech, sat me down and said, Shelly-Ann, I know what you're going through and I know it's hard. And this is one of the reasons, if not the most important reason why I started this foundation, because I realized that student athletes in Jamaica, not necessarily track athletes, but athletes who do netball, swimming, whatever, table tennis, some of these students are in situation, economic situation, social situation that are unbearable, and all they would need is just a chance. And I'm giving them that chance. And I want them to actually reach out and take the chance and run with it. I know at times it can be difficult to be in a situation and you see somebody else and you say you don't understand. They don't understand what I'm going through, but I understand. And I've made it. I've risen above all the obstacles and circumstances that I was faced with. When I became Olympic champion in 2008, I said to myself that this is a lifelong dream. This is something that I thought was just so really funny. And when I finished, I crossed that line and yes, I pumped and I did everything. And I went back to my room while I was in the village and I sent in an application for UTEC to do my degree. Now, many persons at that time would be, you know, maybe counting up the dollars or thinking about the house, the car, and everything. But I wanted more. I wanted not only to be known for my legs, but I wanted to be known for the impact I would have in the lives of children in Jamaica, in the lives of others. So I decided to go to school, and of course, you know, I still had persons who supported me, even along this way, who have thought that, you know, she have arrived, but I'm still a baby to a lot of persons. I would get the calls, how are you doing? You know, all the best in school, and this is the way to go. And I started school, and I had a passion to finish, and I wanted to finish, and I was going to finish. And I said to myself that this will take me 4 years to complete my degree, and I'm going to complete it. I'm going to do it full time, and I'm also going to be doing it as an athlete, and it is possible. And that's the dream and the hope I want for the athletes, the student athletes that we will be giving grants to, is to make sure that they complete school, because education is so important. Education, a lot of persons will believe that, you know, or it's track and field, they'll stand up at the line, they train and they run. But it involves lots of thinking, a lot of analyzing. And I said that, you know, I was going to finish school and I'm going to become one of the first members in my family to actually have a degree. And I wanted that. My mother didn't have that. You know, my father didn't have that. So I wanted it. I wanted to be known for something different. I wanted to prove the doubters wrong. I wanted, when I stood up to collect my degree, I would be standing there and persons who saw me would say, wow, I can't believe Shelly-Ann did it. The persons who are in the inner city, the persons who are struggling, the children who believe that because they don't have the support from their mother, their father, because of where they're from. They believe that that's where they're supposed to be. But I want them to realize that that's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be rising. You're supposed to elevate. You're supposed to think big, dream big, and plan. And that's what I wanted. Now, the purpose of this foundation is to make sure that these athletes get the chance that they deserve. And I know it's difficult in an economic situation we're faced with now. It's very difficult. But I know it's possible because all things are possible to them who believe, and all things are possible through God. So I know it will be a success. And for this foundation, I want to be able to make sure that these children know that it's very possible to link academics and school. Yes, it's hard. I know it's hard. I've done it. And I've been doing it for quite a while. And I've been doing it on the big stage. And they're just in high school. It's just 5 years. That's all it is. And 5 years goes off so quickly. And it will be worth it. Because everyone knows that our athletes here in Jamaica. And when I say athletes, I'm not only speaking of track athletes. I'm talking athletes. You know, when they step in front of a camera and they're speaking, we all love them for their talents. But at the same time, we want them to express themselves in a way that persons can be proud of. Can be proud of. Persons can be proud, their parents can see and say, whoa, that is my child. And also to carry the nation's flag wherever they are in the world, because it's very important. So some of the ventures as our foundation that we will be doing is be hosting PR and etiquette class workshop in conjunction with ISA to make sure that when our athletes who are brought to compete, they're able to stand in front of a mic and to hold the mic and be bold enough to just speak. And that's the problem a lot of our athletes are faced with. I know a lot of you will love the athletes, but at the same time, I know your ears can twerk a bit when we hear. And it is something that I want to help them with, because I do understand. And one of the reasons why I can stand here and express myself is because I went to school. And I took it seriously. I went to college and I finished. I stayed the course. It was very difficult, but I stayed the course. Overcoming and persevering is key. And that's what I want to teach them. I want them to understand that tomorrow morning you go out there, you step on the track, you go in the swimming pool, you do something. So many things can happen in that career. But what we will never take away from is what you have in here. And that's what I want to do. Of course, we will be continuing ventures in my community. Every year we have a Christmas tree in Waterhouse, and I'm very, very glad that Grace Kennedy is here because they have helped so much along the road, providing food and of course, just having fun. And Digital also has, been on board for day one. They have both been on board, and for that I'm really grateful. And that's the venture I continue to do with my foundation, to make sure that at Christmas time our children can have that smile on their face. Because let's face it, when I was growing up, Christmas was just a holiday for me. I wasn't expecting Santa Claus or anybody, but I knew that was fairy tale, and I knew that from early. But at the same time, I've seen these children and I understand what it means to them to actually come out and to celebrate and to have fun. And that's the smile, because a lot of our children are faced with a lot of circumstances. They're dealing with so much. They're carrying so many burdens as young as 10 and as 8. And we don't understand, but they go into the classroom and they sit down and they look in they are at the back of the class and they just sit there, and nobody knows the stress and the circumstances that they're coming from, their home situation, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. These are some of the things they are dealing with in the inner city, and I want to provide for them a home. I want them to be able to see me and understand that I made it, and I want you to make it. I'm giving you the chance, and I'm asking you to take the chance and to run with it. So these are some of the ventures we will come doing as part of the foundation. And of course, this year is it's a competitive year for me, of course. And I've been doing so much. Yes, I won the Olympics, but I'm looking forward to the World Championship this year. And it means lots of traveling. My actually headed to China in the afternoon or thereabouts to compete in the 100 meters. But of course, I can tell you that my board members, persons who have assembled, are, if I think North Korea wants to launch a missile, these are missiles to have here. So assembled a group of persons who I tell you are so committed. They are committed, and that's what I love about them, because even when I'm away, Paula is the J. They keep flooding my emails. But of course, we're up to date with everything, and I'm involved 100% because I want this. I want this to succeed. And of course, our sponsors that are here, I want you to help me to make this a reality. Not only for a year, but to sustain this for many years to come. And of course, our board members, have been working really, really hard. Paula, thank you so much for today. And Mr. James, of course, Uncle Jeffrey, Mr. Walker, Mrs. Montague, and Mr. Walker. Thank you so much for everything that you have done thus far, and I continue to see growth because I see the commitment and the dedication in your eyes. And that's what I look for when I selected you. I didn't just get up and say, oh, I wanted this, and I did my research. I did. I want to have key persons on this board that I know that have worked with children, and I know will make sure that this foundation gets going and going properly. So, and when I close, I just want to say, thank you to our sponsors, Digital, of course, Grace Kennedy, and of course UNICEF for being here, and just continue to allow us to cause a change in the lives of children, and also for giving me the platform to express myself and to also help. And before I close, I actually want to say a big thank you to Sagicor for allowing us to be where we are, because they have done so much for us, and it's not something I really want to talk about, but when we started, we didn't know where we would be located, but thanks to Sagicor, we are located at the Sagicor building.